This evening, I would like to speak to our young girls, specifically between the ages of 13 to 18. These are the young girls that have been raised within family. These are young girls that have had abandonment issues, that have been raised by guardians, that have been raised by maybe mom and not dad, maybe dad and mom, either or. But whatever the situation was, some of these young girls comes out of very dysfunctional homes. I want to speak specifically about these young girls that are silent, that absolutely feel they have no power to speak their mind or to say how they feel. I'm speaking about the young girls that have attempted suicide, not even once or twice, but maybe 3 times. I'm talking about young girls that seeks attention or affirmation, from older boys. I'm talking about young girls that have become rebellious, young girls that have said that if all else fails, let me just do what I want to do. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. And with the life coaching that I'm doing, I've experienced, a pattern of behavior with some young girls. And one of the things that stood out for me specifically was that they never feel good enough about themselves. They never feel that who they are is enough. Never ever. I will tell you why I'm saying that. They will always be okay with the little bit that they receive from someone. So specifically, let's talk about boys. And they receive a little bit of attention from boys, or they receive a little bit of admiration from boys. In my mind, that speaks about an appetite for attention. So if you get that little bit of attention, that's an appetite, that you have. That's a craving that you have from within. Where does it come from? Why would you settle, for example, I just want to do an illustration, but why would you settle for these crumbs from someone? Why would you settle for these little bit of crumbs and you're quite content with having this little bit that somebody is giving you? If it means this person gives you a bit of attention, a bit of love, that is feeding your appetite. Why would you want to settle for that? And many a times we don't understand that these young girls are crying out for help. These young girls just want daddy to hold them. These young girls just want mommy to say, I'm proud of you. These young girls want daddy just to say how beautiful they are. But yet, they're quite content with the crumbs, because somebody else will say, you are beautiful. Someone else will say, you are so pretty. And the young girl will kind of like bite into that. The idea of somebody saying to them that they are pretty. And they will settle for even these little crumbs from that person. But knowing very well that the person will only say this much on a temporary measure, but not permanently. Because permanently you will see the real version of that person, and that person will not be able to give you exactly what it is that you desire. This evening I want to speak to these young girls, and I would love to say this to them. I'd love for you as a young girl to find your voice. Find your voice and know your worth, because you are valued, you are loved, you are appreciated. But do not settle for the crumbs that a young boy gives you. Do not settle for the little bit of attention that somebody else gives you. Do not settle just for that. Because guess what? You are enough. You are worthy. And many a times we don't understand that appetite of showing people that I want attention, and showing people that you want to be needy. It kind of like brings a vulnerability across. And when you as a young girl, if you are vulnerable, some guy will see that. Some guy will see through that vulnerability, and he'll take full advantage of that. Therefore, young girls, I'm speaking to you tonight. Do not settle for these crumbs. This is not your worth. This is not your worth. I would love for you to say tonight, and I want you to repeat this after me. Say to yourself, I am worthy. I am worthy. I will not settle just for crumbs, because I am worthy.